Have you wondered what a newborn feels during birth? Unfortunately, babies can't talk and tell us at the moment of birth what they're going through, but using science, we have a pretty good idea of what happens. Before we answer this curious question, we ask you to hit the like button if you love watching our videos. Your support will help us to bring more of these videos to answer some fascinating and interesting curious questions. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Curious Path, to stay connected. Now let's get back to babies and let's start with what the experience is like inside the belly. Before any other senses develop, a baby first develops a sense of touch. For a baby, the sense of touch is the most important sense to start to feel the world around her or him. According to a recent study, it's no coincidence that fetuses respond strongly to belly touches. So if you're pregnant, keep rubbing that belly. It's a great stimulation to get the baby to move and to develop a powerful bond with your little one. But keep in mind, a baby may not always react strongly to a touch until week 26. In terms of hearing, babies start to develop that in the mother's womb around week 16. From there, they're able to hear the mother's breathing, heartbeat, and any other activity like talking. Expectant mothers may already know that sometimes their baby will react to them singing or talking. This is not a coincidence, as babies develop attachment to their mother's voice inside the womb. Similarly, babies start to open their eyes between week 26 and week 28. At this point, their vision is blurry, but they're able to respond to bright flashes of light pointed at their mother's belly. In terms of taste, babies have fully developed taste buds around week 28. From then on, they're able to fully taste what their mom eats. The flavor molecules pass from the mom through the placenta into the baby's amniotic fluid. Thus, it is no coincidence that babies will sometimes dislike the same food as their mom as they grow up. But we wonder, if the mom eats lots of veggies, will our children finally like veggies too? All this is pretty fascinating. The process of growth inside the mother's womb is nothing short of extraordinary. From a single cell to a grown baby, it's a miracle. Now, let's consider what happens to the baby during birth. In a normal birth, one of the interesting mysteries is how a baby's body is able to flex and fit through a narrow opening that is the size of a bagel. Does the baby feel any pain? Well, according to science and recent studies, babies do feel pain. If you pinch or perform a medical procedure on a baby after birth, she would feel pain. However, we do not know what kind of pain a baby feels during birth. According to doctors and experts, it is likely a baby feels a tight squeeze rather than anything else. Nature has created human bodies in a very intelligent way. Did you ever wonder why a baby's skull feels soft and tile-like after birth? Well, that's done on purpose, so that the baby can squeeze through the birth canal without any injury. It is for that reason that newborns have conical-shaped skulls after birth. But don't worry, the baby's cone-shaped head returns to normal after a few days as the skull starts to bond together. Now, upon birth, a baby is like wondering, what happened? The change of environment is overwhelming as the world around changes drastically. The temperature drops from 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit to a 70-degree delivery room. To cope with this change, a baby's thyroid plays an important role as its level is elevated at birth from exposure to cold and adrenaline. This is key because elevated thyroid levels cause heat production from a type of fat called brown fat, which is vital in helping a newborn regulate its temperature outside the womb. Pretty cool, right? As the baby exits the birth canal, the senses of the baby will go through new experiences. For sight, a baby's eyesight is blurry and is unable to focus upon birth. Immediately after birth, she will see bright lights, and so without surprise, you may have heard that babies born in dim rooms are calmer. The dim environment will reduce the sudden change in brightness and will allow the baby to adjust to their new environment. Also, according to experts, when babies are held near mom's face, usually 8 to 12 inches away, they are able to recognize facial features. So it is a gradual process for the baby to start to develop recognition of parents using sight. For touch, one of the first sensations is being pulled or held by strange hands. This is totally new to the baby, so it's no surprise that babies calm down when they are held and touched by their mom. The touch sensation works in tandem with smell and sound to help the baby feel familiar with the new environment. The sound of mom's heartbeat and smell of her body is the only thing a baby is used to. But what about breathing? Well, before birth, the oxygen to the baby is delivered through placenta. During birth, babies do not start to breathe as soon as the head exits the birth canal, as there is too much pressure on their body. Rather, once the whole of baby's body is delivered, one of the natural reflexes is to clear the fluid from the lungs and throat as the lungs fill up with air. Sometimes babies need help, and the midwife may rub the baby with a towel to stimulate breathing. Thereafter, you're going to hear a cry or cough within a few seconds as the first breath is taken. Once the umbilical cord is cut, a baby's body starts to function independently of the mom. There aren't any nerves in the umbilical cord, so no pain will be felt when it's cut. Now, let us also give you some interesting facts. Number 1. A newborn baby's stomach is surprisingly tiny. Can you guess its size? Well, you may be surprised to know that it's only the size of a hazelnut. This is the reason babies need to be fed often and need help burping, as small air bubbles will take up precious space. Number 2. It's normal for a newborn to lose weight in the first few days. Babies are born with extra fluid, and as a result, a newborn is expected to lose 7 to 10% of birth weight. Number 3. Babies are born with more bones than adults. This is on purpose to allow a baby's body to be as flexible as possible during birth. By the time a baby reaches adulthood, she will only have 206 bones in the body. Number 4. Babies don't cry with tears when they're born. This is normal, and tears won't show until a baby is a month old. Number 5. Babies deprive their parents of approximately 44 days of sleep in the first year. So if you're having a baby, be prepared to have sleepless nights. Now, we don't know about you, but we find babies amazing. They're soft, cuddly, and amazingly curious. How about you? Are you still curious? If you are and you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Your support will help us bring more of these videos to answer some fascinating and interesting curious questions. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Curious Path, to stay connected.